This is Let's Talk Business with your host, Marc Ebinger. Now, here's Marc.
Welcome back to the Let's Talk Business podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about running a home staging business. In studio with us today is Julie Young, co-founder of By Design Home Staging, a multimillion-dollar staging company here in San Antonio, Texas. Julie is also the co-founder of Staging Studio, an accredited staging certification training provider. Julie, sounds like you got a full plate, but welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here.
Excited to have you. I like your glasses, by the way. You
Oh,
have the
yeah.
round version of the ones that I have. I need to get a round
matching.
version of it. I don't know how I'd look with round, but I think it'd be cool.
Kind of like the opposite of Elton John.
In what way? Exactly.
I mean, more handsome
Oh.
and straighter.
Oh, okay. You think I'm more handsome?
Yeah.
I like that.
Don't get round glasses.
All right. Kirby had those. I liked his glasses. They look good for him.
Where is he now? Off the podcast.
I love it. All right, I'm your host, Marc Ebinger, the owner of Krukus Virtual Staffing, a company that recruits and staffs experienced overseas administrative assistants for businesses who need help with administrative tasks such as appointment setting, data entry, and client communication.
And I'm your co-host, Jenevy Sims with the Evolve firm. We help business owners create marketing strategies to help evolve and elevate their business to the next level.
I like the way you use evolve in the company name and in your positioning statement.
Absolutely, branding.
Branding, that's great. I own Sharkmatic Advertising, a cool ad agency serious about big results. When I talk about results, I mean somebody can create a great brand. We can certainly help you with an awesome website. But if you're not getting people to get on your website and consume your content and convert from being a prospect to a client, then it's almost like winking at somebody in the dark. You know what you're doing, but nobody else does. So if your marketing's not working, see Jenevy and I, and together we'll help grow your business through digital influence.
A quick reminder to follow the Let's Talk Business podcast on all major podcast platforms and social media where you can catch video versions of the show. You can get to everything easily from our website at satalkradio.com. A quick shout out to Imad Gurgis and his team over at Simply Bookkeeping for being a sponsor for the upcoming Let's Talk Business Mega Mixer on October 3rd. Simply Bookkeeping was created with one goal in mind, and that's to help companies grow and focus on their business. If you're looking for excellent bookkeeping and payroll services, reach out to Imad and his team at Simply Bookkeeping and let them take care of you as they do me. They do a great job. And for Howie.
Me.
Yes.
They do the bookkeeping at Sharkmatic.
Yeah, they do. All right, so you can visit their website at simplybookkeeping.com. That's simply with an I, and bookkeeping with two O's and two K's, or you can call them at 832-518-9368. I sometimes forget that there's two K's in bookkeeping.
Right. Well,
a problem of mine.
Yeah, I'm sure the British spelling doesn't have two Ks.
Probably not. Kean would have probably got that wrong,
Right.
too.
And where's he now? Off the podcast.
Podcast.
I like the way you say it, right? Because it could be interpreted different ways, right? It's like, hey, I didn't say you were fired.
Right.
I didn't say you left.
Right.
It just kind of happened.
Not passing judgment.
Yeah, not passing judgment at all.
Stating a fact.
Yep, stating a fact.
So speaking of the podcast, it's important, the podcast Mega Mixer, it's important to have sponsors because the sponsors pay for all the expenses, the Margaritaville and the food, and then the people who pay $15 to attend it, a portion of the proceeds goes to benefit a local nonprofit. This time, it's going to be Gotcha Covered, which is a collection drive for the homeless, been going on for 28 years that I am proud to have started and continued. And we will be using the money from the Let's Talk Business podcast Mega Mixer attendees, the proceeds from that, to buy socks and underwear for men, women, and children. And we'll be donating those this December. If you want to learn more about Gotcha Covered, go to gotchacovered.org.
Now, the thing with the tickets, though, so they're on early bird right now. So when early bird ends, the tickets go up from $15 to $20. If you're going to buy them at the door, it's going to be $25. So these are the lessons that we've learned, right? We're trying to plan, you know what I mean, get everything set, but then you have a lot of latecomers. We're just trying to encourage people to get your tickets soon so we can know, hey, how many people are going to actually be there. We're planning for
early
250.
bird, you said early bird, we're planning for 200 people. Early bird is $15. When does early bird end?
At the end of August.
Okay, at the end of
September
August.
1st, it goes up to $20.
So $20. And if you wait to get them at the door, it's
25.
$25.
Yeah. And all that money goes to a good cause, right? I mean, it takes, we got to run the machine, and we also got to give back here locally. So, and it's worth every penny because you get that all back in food. The food is going to be off the chain. If you've been to one of these in the past, the food was good, but this is different level. This is the same stuff we had at the BNI Mega Mixer that we did back on August 1st. Same folks coming out doing that, and also the same photographer. So high quality photography is going to be there.
Both of those were great. By the way, I ate and drank $33 worth of food.
I know you did. I was counting it off.
Yeah,
I had
I
somebody
served
watching
myself
you.
3 times. That food was delicious.
That's right. The plate you had. I'm like, why you got so much food? He's like, no, I'm delivering.
No,
it to
when
other
you
people."
saw me,
sharing.
when you
You
saw
said
me,
you're
I was
sharing.
taking food back to the people that didn't feel like walking over to get it, and I had just eaten mine, so I said, "I'll get it for you," because I was a pro by
That
that
was your
point.
second
I'd already
serving.
served myself 3 times, so I know how to serve myself. So I served it for them, but I didn't realize the optics of that. Yeah, people saw me; they're like, "Look at this guy. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Really? 12 meatballs?
know,
I go, they're not for me."
It was so cool too because they were still, when they would run out of some, they were making more of it back. They came well prepared to serve.
And the ladies that were there were so nice, so great to talk with. The bartender, Bethany, she was also awesome.
Yeah, she's going to be our bartender again.
Yeah.
She's going to bring somebody with her. I've got somebody that is going to be running a booth for me there, a table. I've never had a table in the past.
Wow.
I'm not doing any selling from the stage kind of a thing, but now as I'm out networking, I'm actually going to be driving traffic over towards that table. Say, and we got Crystal over here. I think that's her name. Who can take care of you? Sorry.
With all your virtual assistants, hard to keep everybody straight.
Well, it's just I meet so many people. Anyway, it's going to be a good time, but I'm actually planning properly, I think, for this one. But anyway, we'll see how it turns out. Video interviews are going to be there again, too. So, business owners are going to have an opportunity to go up there and get interviewed by one of the show hosts, make a video clip. That's being done by a professional film company, and then that will be sent out to the people who get interviewed, too. So it's like this is kind of next level.
Same as
networking.
before, the same people?
Yes, Indigo
So
Film.
Indigo.
Indigo.
Okay. I just didn't
Indigo
want to
Film.
mention the name and it was somebody else. So good.
Well, good. But
They do a great job. They really do a great job.
It is. It's a nice, high-class, I think, operation, mixer-wise. We do a good job.
Sounds like a great event.
Yeah.
Have any of the previous vendors, like or participants, photographers, food people, or have they shown up to any mixers that since they were a
for
part
sure.
of it?
Yeah, yeah.
Afterwards, they've shown up. Mm-hmm. They're still part of it. Good.
Yeah. In fact, that's and sponsors too coming back.
Good.
You know what I mean? It's like because it works for them. So, all right. So Julie Young with By Design Home Staging. Tell me a little bit about your background. How did you go from wherever you're at to running By Design Home Staging?
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting story. So we started our business in 2007, and prior to that, I'd done various things. I have a degree in marketing, and I've gone back to get my certification in design and interior design, and I had done things like work for a mortgage company. I'd been a stay-at-home mom. I worked on the PTA, been doing that for years, and I thought, as a stay-at-home mom, it's time to bring in some income, help pay for the kids to go to college one day. When they were young at the time, my youngest son was in 3rd grade when we started this business. So I had a group of friends, and this was just like naturally what we would do. We'd go from house to house, and we'd update each other's homes, decorate them, and we were in my primary bathroom. We were plastering the walls, just putting on old wallpaper, like nobody should have old builder wallpaper. Wallpaper has made a turnaround. It's awesome again. But back in the day, we were plastering it, and I just said to my group of friends, hey, does anybody want to start a home staging business with me? And my friend Debbie said, I'll do it. And there you go. That was our entire business plan. That is all we knew at the time. And then from 2007 until now, we've helped sell over $2 billion worth of real estate, multi-million-dollar business. So we have learned a lot in the last 17 years and seen the market do a lot of different things.
That's awesome. Because some businesses get started like that if you're, sniffing wallpaper glue, and then others are at a bar, right? You're drinking, and you're and it sounds like a really good idea at the time you're in it, right? So I love the evolution story. Now, obviously, everybody learns a lot. And how did you come to figure out what was going to make you all money and what was something that you all like doing but doesn't necessarily improve the bottom line?
Exactly, because you got to figure it out. Is this a hobby or is this a business, and what lane you're going to go in? And, we started in 2007. Like I said, we were calling on different real estate brokerages. And initially, we just thought we're going to be doing consultations, going into people's homes and giving them advice. And we were at a brokerage office, and they said, hey, do you guys do vacant staging? And when you're a business owner, your answer is always yes.
Right.
Yes, we do vacant staging.
As a matter of fact, we just started that division right now.
Yes, exactly. The answer is always yes. So we get in the car and we look at each other and we're like, how are we going to do vacant staging? And so we figure out everything. So at the time, we didn't own any furniture that you could rent to stage. So we're like, let's go check out Court Furniture Rental. Let's see what they have. So we went and checked out Court Furniture Rental. Their pricing was very high. Their furniture was very low quality. And we looked at their contract and we're like, yeah, we don't want to do that. And on that spot, we decided we would start purchasing our own inventory. And that was in 2007. And 14 years later, we purchased the Court Furniture Rental building that we went to that day.
Wow.
Congrats. I love that.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it worked out.
Yeah. Now, 2007, and then something happened in 2008. For those of you who were in business
yeah.
then,
In real estate, right?
in real estate, there was a little recession that
Yeah,
happened.
we
How did-
were not smart enough. We didn't know what we didn't know. So we didn't know that this was the worst possible time to start a home staging business when the real estate industry was just tanking. It was the worst back then. But it really helped us grow because we had to get systems in place and had to really go knock on a lot of doors and beat the bushes and develop relationships to develop our business.
So
What's your role in the business in the early stages? What do you-
Everything.
Okay. And
by everything, I mean drive the truck, move the furniture, take the phone calls, do the design plan.
And Debbie, what is Debbie, right?
Yeah, we both
What did
did
Deb-
all of that together.
Gotcha. Wow.
And now we have a team of people.
What'd you get rid of first?
We always say hire what you hate to do
Yeah.
first. So what I hate to do was the bookkeeping and the invoicing and all of that, collecting the money. I'm not a fan.
Right.
Some people, that's their lane. They love it. They don't want the creative design part.
So, Julia, what I say, and I've been an entrepreneur now for 35 years, I say make a list of all the things you have to do. You know you need to do them. Okay? Number them 1 to 50. Now, flip your list upside down. Start with 50. Because chances are you put the thing you want to do last at the end. And that's probably what you need to do first.
Yeah.
And like you said, if you're not going to do it and get it under control, then hire out for it.
Yeah.
And then you evolved to eventually owning that furniture rental place, which I think is so incredible. So in the beginning stages, where did you store all that furniture? How did you acquire your furniture?
Well, we started our business at our kitchen tables, and now we're in a 20,000 square foot studio and showroom. So it has evolved. We started in our garages and like, let's go to the lamp department, climbing over everything. And it was just like 2 lamps in a cardboard box in the corner, pulling those out. And we went from one garage to another garage. And then I found a little warehouse that's kind of south of Basse, kind of centrally located. And they had an unair conditioned little storage area. And we were like, oh my gosh, can we afford it? Can we afford to do it? And it was like $150 or $200 a month. I don't know. And so we put
Pre-pandemic pricing.
Exactly. And so we put our inventory, which wasn't much at the time, in there. And we had candles, and the candles went, woo, they just melted. It was so hot.
No.
And then from that little side area, we moved to the same building, but with air conditioning to back corner. And then we grew from that. They had the space to grow until we took about half of that warehouse space, and we were landlocked with another tenant. And then we started looking for a place to buy.
Wow.
And tip to the business owners out there, If you are looking to purchase a building, we created a separate LLC to do that, so it's not under the By Design LLC. So By Design pays that other LLC rent. So
Yeah.
it's great for tax purposes, and if you ever were to sell your business one day or something like that.
Yeah, the real estate's not included, and it's not one of the assets.
Yeah. Could you go more into the details of the services that you're currently providing?
Yes. I would say our main thing that we do would be vacant home staging. So when builders or homeowners or agents are listing their property, then we have furniture and inventory that we go and put into the property. So we make every house a model home. And builders really understand that because that's part of their strategy when they are building out communities. And so every home has to look fabulous now because you have Pinterest, you have Instagram, you have TikTok. As y'all well know, in the digital world, everybody is aspiring to what their next property is going to be. So you have to build that aspirational aspect into it. So we consider ourselves marketing. So we're helping to market that property. By what we're bringing in, there's two things that sell real estate. There's price, there's presentation. The agents totally have the price down, the comps, the neighborhood, but they don't always understand how to present the product. And so that's where we come in and make it look fabulous. And in so doing, then they're going to get the results of higher offers and a faster sale. You know, everybody wants to make more money, and you don't want to leave money at the closing table.
Where's the friction in your business? Where's the resistance at?
I would say the resistance is when clients get a proposal and they're like, they don't fully understand the ROI on their investment, and they're forward thinking to my next house. I don't want to put money into this house. So we have to educate them about the return on investment. So currently our homes that we stage, we get 4.69% more for offers than other homes that are on the market. And our average staged home is probably around $600,000. And that ends up being around I wrote it down.
24 grand?
Yeah, it ends up being about $28,000. And our average staging investment is around $2,500. So you take that and you look at your return. That is the financial aspect. And then our homes sell a month and a half faster than other homes that are listed on the market.
And
you
then
have all those carrying costs.
So this is a really, really good kind of a leap-off point to where I would want to ask Jenevy and Howie both, since you guys are both in marketing. It's like, what is a way to help convey that to the potential client, the homeowner, that maybe she hadn't thought of yet? Jenevy, you want to start?
Yes, do tell.
Yes, absolutely. So, of course, the numbers, right? The numbers always helps, but people are visual. So when we do our branding strategy, of course, we show them the potential of what it could be. And, of course, now with AI, that makes our job a lot easier. But when people are able to visualize it, then, not only are you establishing that emotional trust, but also really setting in stone the expectations of what can become. And then when they're able to grasp that, then everything else is really pretty easy from there.
And Howie, how would you approach it? As far as the whole point is educating the homeowner in a way that they can quickly say, well, yeah, this is a no-brainer that I should do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, third-party testimonials. Certainly what Genevy's talking about is right on the money, show what the potential is. But instead of Julie and her partner talking about it, which you need to do, I promote what we do all the time. But it's not until my client says something that I did not script, and he says, if you're not hiring Sharkmatic Advertising to do your website and SEO, you're leaving money on the table. And that's a direct quote from the owner of a Harley-Davidson dealership. Wow, all of a sudden, they don't have to take my word for it. They take my client's word for it. So if Julie has a client that says, hey, look, I've sold 4 or 5 houses, And I'm usually right there at asking price, or depending on if it's pre-pandemic or post-pandemic. But I'm usually right there. All of a sudden, wow, I decided to stage my house. My investment was $2,500. They set everything up. They picked everything up. Next thing you know, we're getting calls. I mean, my real estate agent was blown away. Real estate agent called me. She goes, "What did you do?" And like all of a sudden, like, "Oh yeah, I got the staging company." He's like, "Well, my phone's ringing off the wall," you know? And
so testimonials certainly are important, and I'm going to take it a step further. I'm guessing you're already doing some of this, but I'm going to take it a step further because I'm doing testimonial collection as well, right? But I have them come into my studio, and then we have a talk. I can do it on Zoom if I have to, but I like to do it high quality, right? Well, then I'll have 6 minutes of a testimonial, but then I'll also chop it up to question by question. That becomes short form video content, right? And then it's also on my website. So I'm talking about multi-purposing these testimonials as well. So how do you approach that now and helping them quickly realize that you almost feel stupid if you don't hire you for the services?
Well, we do it several different ways. One, this year we had a really bigger push to get Google reviews. So that was a mix from agents and builders and homeowners, and they can go in there and see very specific examples of someone who's used our services. We've partnered with a lot of top agents in town for years. We have their testimonials on our website. We have them on our proposal, because our proposal tells a story prior to them seeing the number. So, and of course, we're educating them as well. So we have those.
Who helped you do this? Because that's very, very smart and very layered. Right.
Yes.
I mean, you're very comprehensive at what you're doing there. So how did you get to the point where you focus that much attention on testimonials?
Well, this is for business owners out there. A great thing. I think we talked about this earlier. Is Donald Miller, the Story brand, and we did that. So we have marketing in house with By Design. So we have a marketing department, and we use the Story brand method. And they had a whole module on how to do a proposal and what address their fears or their concerns, overcome them, and telling the story of what it will be, showing them results, showing them past results, showing the testimonials, and then so they're in by the time they see the price on your proposal. It's full of beautiful photos, and it's integrated into our client-facing system. We use HoneyBook. So
I love all that. That's like next level stuff there. You can tell you got a marketing degree. Not only that, but you actually put it to work, right? It's one thing to have a degree. It's another thing to actually execute.
And what you're alluding to when you said a multifaceted or multi-layered approach, Jenevy and I know this all the time because we have clients come to us. They're like, okay, what's that one thing we can do just to like grow, explode our business? And while we'd like to say that, there's this elusive silver bullet or magic bullet, it's really more of a box of golden BBs, right? There's a whole bunch of things you can do that's going to push your brand forward. And it's usually not going to be one thing. And if there is one thing that actually works for a little while, it's not going to work forever. So you better be adaptable and try different things. And it's never a bad thing to have multi-touch points with clients. They all of a sudden see you on various social media. Then they see you on a news story. They did a little feature on you. And then they see you with all your great Google reviews. And then all of a sudden, Yelp comes up, unexpected. I thought that was just for restaurants. And then, there's something for, your staging company. Like, wow, this is pretty good. These people are all over the place.
yeah, for sure. So we take lots of different approaches. We've partnered with agents, and we have our new building now. It's a showroom. It looks beautiful. So we have agents come to us and even shoot video because they know that staging will help them land the listing. And the name of the game when you're an agent is to get the listing. And so they are kind of our front line.
Brand ambassadors, Go out there and do the thing.
Do you do training for your agents on how to sell staging and or how to get clients by offering staging?
Two different ways we do that. One fairly new that we're doing is we're doing co-branded flyers with them. So it's their logo, their face, but they don't have to remember our statistics. That's not their job. So it's all written down for them. So they have that co-branded, and we help represent them. Then we also, years ago, because honestly, we don't like to sell per se, but we love to educate. So we have, agents are required to take CE, continued education classes. So we have developed a continued education course called The Principles of Home Staging. It's a 1-hour CE, and we partner with a lot of different people. I'm teaching it Thursday at our studio, and we're partnering with the Real Estate Institute, which is partnered with Keller Williams Heritage over at I-10 and 1604. So we do a lot of partnering, mortgage companies, title companies, and we teach this class a lot. And it does educate them, and we want to give away tips too, so that they have great advice to give their clients, and it's a better value for them to come to this class and learn how to then share that information with the clients and to gain listings.
Mark, that's a recurring theme, right? Strategic alliances.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of, brilliance behind what you're talking about. And as you're talking about it, I'm thinking, well, obviously a continuing education course is a great thing because it's dual purpose, at least dual purpose, right? Because one thing, you're getting in front of people and you're talking about what you love to talk about and where you're smart at, but they're also solving a problem for themselves, and that is their continuing education requirements. My question is, how did you find out about the CE stuff? This is an honest question because I'm thinking I should do this within the virtual staffing side of it. There's got to be something in there somewhere for whatever industry, but I like the CE approach. How did you get started in that? And then how do you?
I think we've done it for probably over 10 years, maybe 15 years that we have done this. And I would say that was initially the biggest game changer to our business, because when we started, people were like, what is home staging? They literally did not know. We did this one little setup where Debbie and I would go into these offices and supply breakfast at their team meeting just to get our little 5 minutes in front of them. Debbie would come like in sweatpants, ponytail, no makeup, and, we're bringing breakfast tacos or whatever. People would always think she's the caterer. And I would get up, I'd be dressed to the nines, be all professional, and introduce myself, and I'd say, now my business partner, Debbie, was going to come give you some more details. And she would walk up there, and you'd see the eyes going, oh, my gosh, this poor woman, did she not know she was coming to speak in front of people today because she was not dressed appropriately? And then that's how we initially educated with home staging.
Right.
And she
that's the difference
brilliant.
between home
All right, I'm caught up now. It was taking me a minute, but I'm
I was there, man.
Were you?
Yeah, I love
But
it.
I wasn't
It's
a
the
cop.
visual.
I wasn't a
You
cop
gotta
for
have
20
the
something.
visual.
Yeah, so she would literally take off her slippers, put on heels, because you're not going to change the square footage of the home, but you can open it up and make it look bigger. And, she would take off the sweatshirt and put on a blazer and, take out
Brilliant.
the
I love
ponytail
it.
and say, well, this is how I would go to HEB. But when your home is for sale, it is a product. It is no longer your home, and it has to be marketed like a product. And so that was what we did initially. 17 years later, we still have people tell us, oh, my gosh, I remember when you came in. And that was the light bulb that kind of helped elevate our business and to really educate agents in the industry in town the power of home staging.
How did you get into the continuing education
Oh,
side?
I'm sorry, I didn't answer that question.
Yeah. That's like my big thing that I want to know.
Yeah. So what we did some research on it, and you go to TREC, the Texas Real Estate Commission. Yes, thank you. That was the C. And you had to fill out paperwork. You have to develop your course and submit it. And they approve it or they don't approve it. And then you have to submit also to be a TREC approved provider. So that means you're the teacher or the school of it. And so then you can go and teach it. And if you are the provider, then you're responsible for turning in all the license numbers and all of that information back into TREC so they get that credit.
Cool. Well, I got people for all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it.
What shouldn't people do in home staging? So assuming they don't hire you guys, but they want to stage their home, You know, what shouldn't they do?
What shouldn't they do?
I mean, should they leave their own furniture before moving? Should they get their grandmother's furniture since she just passed away and move it all into their house?
No.
Okay.
I would say the last thing you want to do is have a home for sale that it's listed when it's vacant. They actually look smaller because there's not furniture in the room for comparison, for scale and proportion.
So don't leave it empty.
Do not leave it empty.
Okay.
Clean it up. I mean, if you're living in your home while it's for sale, clean your house as if your mother-in-law's coming.
Well, I would also imagine that if it's empty, people are looking at the baseboards. There's a lot more exposure for people to look at little cracks or something,
There's
right?
nothing
Scratches.
to distract the eye. So
Right.
they're going to go to, the foundation. And something's wrong with the foundation. There's a crack in the wall. They're going to focus on the dinginess of the home that's not clean. But when they see beautiful furniture, we always want to stage with the level of furniture that's the price point of the home or higher. We've gone into $1 million homes and people are living in them, and it has basically IKEA dorm furniture in it.
Oh, no.
And, good on them. They've worked really hard. They were able to purchase the home, and they're too busy, and they were never able to design their home. We've even had an agent said, I will not list your home unless you move out. And then we come in with our inventory because you want that level of inventory to be at or above the home.
Has
price.
anybody ever loved the house, loved the furniture, and wants to buy it with the staged furniture in it?
Yes, and we will sell it.
I love it. Multiple revenue
Yes.
streams.
Yes, multiple
Absolutely.
revenue streams.
Well,
for
now
sure.
that we know what not to do, what are some trending things right now in this industry?
I would say more organic and less shiny. People are not into like a whole lot of shiny finishes. They want something that's more matte and more organic. We were in the era, if y'all remember, well, I'll go back further in time to early 2000s, the old world Tuscan era, where everybody's home looked like Olive Garden. We
Right.
all lived through that.
That's right.
And then we moved from that to the gray trend,
Yeah.
when then everything looked like
The gray, and there was a green thing too with the Restoration Hardware.
it was
and that
the
like, oh,
Restoration
sorry.
Hardware. Everybody's home looked like Restoration Hardware.
Right.
And then we went, hello, Joanna Gaines. Everybody had the white farmhouse, and everything was white. And then it went to black and white, like you have
Right.
here. So that was the next color trend. And now we're moving into complex creams. So we got tired of the cool gray and the black and white's kind of stark. So this wood tone is warming up this black and white
Right.
room.
And isn't there a grayish now, which is gray with beige or something
that
like
was
that?
probably when gray was popular
Okay.
and trying to warm up.
I see.
That was how it leaned into the grease. Yeah.
So do most people, clients of yours, either the homeowner or maybe the real estate agent that set up the staging or promoted it and convinced the homeowner to do it, do you find that they think they're better at staging than they really are and want to tell you, like, kind of be on your you should subcommittee? You know what you should do? I mean, I'm just saying because it's my, but I think you should do this, because we find it in our business. It's alive and well. Clients come in, they're like, well, my daughter drew this in the third grade, and I'd love for you to incorporate it into my brand, Jenevy. And you're like, oh, wow, that's so
yes.
interesting, but completely irrelevant to what we're trying to do. Thanks
Yes.
so much.
Yes. So when we are doing home staging, then our contract states that we keep creative control in-house. And that's also because of our inventory is turning all the time. I can't say, here's the chair, here's the sofa, 3 weeks ahead of time or 1 week at a time, because that might not even be available. But we always custom design every stage that we do. But when we also do short-term rental styling. We won the #1 short-term rental stylist of the country last year.
Wow.
And so
Congratulations.
thank you. So when we're working with Airbnbs, then we'll take what they're trying to accomplish in mind, and we always look at whether they're selling their home or it's a guest in the home with short-term rental, who is the target client. And so we want that guest experience to be over the top, and we do everything down to even like a can opener in the kitchen, as well as all the furnishings. And they purchase that. But if it's staging, they rent it.
How do you get to pricing? How do you know what to charge? Is it square footage?
No, everything well, some stagers might use that method, but what we do is everything is based on the inventory that we take in. So if it's based on the number of rooms, so we give always 3 different packages for people, which is great if you're a business owner out there, to give options to your clients. Don't just go, do you want it or do you not? And here's the price. So they could say, oh, well, that's not my budget. So we always give them 3 different levels, and our level doesn't have to do with the level and the quality of the furniture we have. It has to do with the amount of inventory that's going in. So does it require a rug? Does it have carpet? Am I bringing a rug? So we look at all those things. So the first level might just be a living room, a dining room, and a primary bedroom. Second level might be a study, and the third level might be an outdoor patio or whatever, all tacked on.
I've interviewed a lot of business owners. I mean, I really have over the last 2.5 years, and you really stand out in your comprehensiveness approach to your business. Do you do like any teaching or anything like that for young entrepreneurs?
Yes, we have Staging Studios, one of the companies that you mentioned that we started. So talking about multiple revenue streams, 2014, we're trying to remember exactly when did we start? It's always this organic thing. And like, where was the beginning of that? But we were growing our team. So we wanted our team to be high level, the best out there trained. And we could not find a training company that met our bar and our standards. So we started our own. So we trained our team, and other people at different conferences would hear about it because we speak at different conferences, and they're like, "Hey, how do you help me train my team?" So we have online training available for people who are home stagers. We have students in every state in the country, all provinces in Canada, and 50 different international countries right now.
Is that what you're asking, or you're asking about mentoring and teaching about entrepreneurship and running a business?
That's where I was going next.
Oh, okay.
Was to say, have you done that where
Well,
you're...
within the staging studio, we have a program called Crew, so that we take stagers who want to grow their business, and we have a coaching program for them.
I would say look at taking it even a step further here in the San Antonio community with respect to young entrepreneurs that are not stagers.
Yes.
Because your approach to business in general was very comprehensive. There's a lot of knowledge there.
Oh,
it's not
thank you.
just about staging. It's just about your approach to business. And that's valuable beyond staging. So there's going to be opportunities out there, if you haven't run across them already, where there are young mentor programs where you can get involved in the San Antonio community.
Tracy Talman has one at Alamo Heights, and that's probably a great market for you, Alamo Heights, Terrell Hills. Expensive homes, people with money, that kind of stuff. They have it's kind of like a Shark Tank program. It's an entrepreneurship program for kids that are in 11th and 12th grade at Alamo Heights High School. And you get an opportunity to come and mentor, but it's great exposure to the families because then there's awards and those kinds of things. So I can put you in touch with Tracy Talman, and she might be a good connection anyway because she's a mortgage lender, and she is very well connected with people, and she's a inspirational woman speaker. She's awesome, really.
She's a hard worker. She's good people. So.
Yeah, I'll connect you guys. So. Part of what I think Mark is seeing, and Jenevy and I as well, when you're talking about seemingly having good control over so many aspects of your business, I see that your business has a layer of complexity that a lot of other businesses don't, right? We can have an office. We offer these 3 things. They're all sort of relatively related, but you're a moving company. You're a furniture company. You are a staging company, you are an advice company, you're a school. So there's so many aspects of the business that you have to really get under control, because if not, one of them can cost your business money. And while these might be making a profit, you might be losing money here because you're investing, and there's no return. So is that probably not something you planned for, but something you adapted to and evolved to be able to handle?
Yeah, as our team grows, because like we were, two moms at our kitchen tables, like, let's run a business. To the level we are now, we've had to learn and grow so much on our own that we have all just gone to lots of different conferences, read lots of different marketing books, and gotten, trained with Donna Miller, different things like that to help us grow. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. But I'm sure, can you talk a little bit? One of the things that's sort of a signature to the Let's Talk Business podcast are the challenges, the obstacles, hey, we really screwed up here, we lost a lot of money, and this is how we overcame it. This is how we...
Yeah, I would say what we have tried to do in the last several years is be very intentional with our strategic planning. So we take, at end of the year, beginning of the year, somewhere in there, time away to look and really process and go through a system of strategic planning. What's going on in the market? What's happening politically? What's going to happen with the interest rates? How's that going to impact our business? So we look through all those things and set goals for our business. So one of our goals this year is to be very intentional with getting the third-party testimonials and getting great Google reviews. And to get the great Google reviews, that has to fully encompass our entire company down to our logistics team. So they have to be great. Our client interfacing software has to be awesome because we want them to have the best client experience from the time they call to the processes of our emails that come through. So we've tried to invest in that so there is a consistent client experience with us that is high level. So whether it's a vacant staging, Airbnb styling, a color consultation, occupied home consultation, each one of these has their customized emails and processes in our system that our project management manages that for us. And then when it's staged, another thing that we are investing hundreds of thousands of dollars annually on inventory because we want to have the best inventory out there. And, it gets moved and things happen to it. So it takes a big investment. So we have to think through what is going to strategically where we investing our capital. And another thing that we did is that we strategically, how are we going to invest the capital? We just put solar panels on our building. It's helping save over $1,300 a month. You have to pay a lot of money to save the $1,300 a month, but it's a long-term investment. So we think through all those ways of the capital and how to spend it. And we want to look at not necessarily the cake at the end of the year, but the slice of the cake and wanting to increase our net profits as well.
Any challenges with your partnership at any point in time? Did you guys have another partner that you had to buy out? Any
well, we
big stories like that?
added a partner. So Debbie's daughter, Andres Eichstadt, is a partner, and she came on about 1.5 years ago. So, yeah. So we have grown that. And then we have a team of approximately 20 people. We have 2 virtual assistants in the Philippines that help us with a few things and help us collect our data. And we have this huge data spreadsheet that Andres has really worked hard on. And we have a virtual assistant that helps plug in all of our numbers into that. So we have the numbers to be able to educate our clients with, and we want to be on top of that. So we could go back and share numbers that like things are flying off the market, but as the market changes, we want to be able to respond with the correct statistics to what's currently going on and not giving them numbers from 3 years ago.
So your VA's doing research for you as well, or just moving numbers?
They don't do a lot of research. They do some research because we have access to MLS where we can get that data to know when is the pending date and how long did that home take to sell, et cetera. What was the list price? And for example, we have a lot of data, and I was looking at the other day, I'm like, oh, wow. Over 63% of the homes we stage get full price offers, and that is in 2024, where that is not the norm. And that's over 63% of our clients.
How did you get introduced to the virtual assistant staffing world? What was the deal there?
I would say that's Andrus does a lot more of our marketing, and I'm not for. We just knew that we needed help, and that would be an efficient way to do it.
Very cost effective, right?
Very cost effective is correct.
Are they full time or part time?
We have one full time, one part time.
Okay.
Did you get them through an agency or did you contract them directly?
Okay, now I don't know all those
No, the
questions.
reason
I don't know.
They're
I'll be
drilling
honest.
it
the
down to
reason
the
I asked
detail.
that is because I've heard both.
Well,
but
I think we found one through an agency, and I couldn't even tell you the name of the agency because I was not the one who did it. And then one we found not through an agency, I believe.
Yeah. The reason I ask is because I've seen both. And sometimes when you hire somebody, you don't meet the legal requirements of what it takes to pay them and taxes and that kind of. So it's easier with an agency. And in our business in digital marketing, we've had clients that go and grab a picture from the internet and download it, and they put it on their marketing material, and they don't realize that there's copyright infringement challenges with things like that. And that's why I always ask. And entrepreneurs are famous for just, hey, man, I'm just going to move forward. I got this. And they'll just go and hire people directly. They don't worry so much about the filings. They'll go take pictures from the internet or go somewhere. And, they don't think about the rules or the laws until, kind of slaps them in the face. That's why I ask. And it could be very experienced businesses. But like you said before, we don't know what we don't know. Mm-hmm. And entrepreneurs tend to be go-getters, and they go and get stuff done, and sometimes it's not the best thing. I mean, I know I was there, pre-bookkeeper days, paying everybody 1099s, and no W-2 stuff.
Absolutely. Well, Julie, your journey is truly amazing and inspiring, especially for our women business owners that are listening to this right now. So thank you for your story and your time today. I loved your origin story. The two ladies starting at the kitchen table and just with the vision of having the home staging business, but not just that, but taking it to the next step, taking it to the next level. So it's not just about home staging anymore. Now we're going to the rentals, and then we're going to education. And, just like how McDonald's, theirs was a real estate game. It wasn't so much as the franchise itself. It was real estate. And you tapped into that resource, and you have brought it to a whole nother level. So what advice would you give to other women entrepreneurs right now who have an idea, who have the passion, and they're sitting at their kitchen table and they're getting ready to implement this idea? What advice would you give to them?
Believe in yourself. Really believe in yourself and have confidence, because I think that was a game changer for us. We just never thought it wouldn't happen, except for one time. We were knocking on a lot of doors, not getting a lot of business, so don't give up. And we remember sitting in the car one day and looking at each other going, should we quit or should we keep going? Is this going to happen? Is this not going to happen? You have to have those real conversations. And we just said, no, we're not quitting.
How far in were you all at that time?
I would say 6-8 months, the first year of business. And it was very tough because, A, we didn't know what we were doing, and B, it was a very difficult market, and people didn't even know what home staging was. So that's one reason why we set up our training business is we're like, it's not going to take y'all near as long to get to where we are as it took us, because we've already made all the mistakes for you.
Yeah. So if you go do a Google search and look up companies who started during a recession or an economic collapse, and you'll be pleasantly surprised to see that a lot of the biggest companies were formed when things were not good in the economy. Because what's counterintuitive, yes, You don't want to start a business. Oh my God, there's a pandemic. Let's start a business. That's not the approach. But what happens is it's sort of a trial by fire. You have to do so much more to overcome all of the headwinds when things are not good, that when things get good again, because the economy always gets good again and it'll get bad again. But if you do it when things are tough, when things are easy, it's so much easier for you. Whereas when people start businesses, when times are great, the economy's booming and everything, all they did was hang their shingle up and all of a sudden they had a bunch of business. Then something happens.
Exactly.
An election, a pandemic, a Y2K. Now I'm dating myself, but that was the year 2000 when everybody thought the world was going to end because computers didn't go past 1999 or whatever it was. It wasn't much to do about nothing, but the psychological impact of what that did to the consumer greatly affected businesses at the time because people stopped buying. They wanted to wait and see what happens and that kinds of things. So point being is, if you start a business when things are good, manufacture some obstacles, some hurdles for you. Don't always take the easy path because you're going to get in front of hard times and you're going to wish, oh my God, I wish I had some real live fire training because it's not. Entrepreneurship is not for the weak at heart. We've had entrepreneurs sitting in that spot telling us over and over and over again. What made them and what defined them was going through the tough times.
Yeah, we were definitely refined in those first few years, and a lot of it was just sheer determination of we're not going to quit. We had the line in the sand. We're not quitting, and we just keep putting one foot in front of another every single day. Do something that will grow your business, and you'll look up in 4-6 months, and then all of a sudden you're going to see progress. But it's when you just quit making any movements or doing anything to grow your business, then yes, your business will die.
Yeah, there's two add-ons to that. One is a saying, it's like you can't beat somebody that won't quit, right? And then the other one is the picture of the bird that is eating the frog, has it in his mouth, and the frog has his hands around the bird's neck so that he can't swallow the frog, right? But it's like there's no quit in him, you know? So that's really inspiring.
Absolutely.
Julie. So it's been a great conversation. We do have to end it, actually, which is kind of a bummer. But if folks want to get in touch with you, how do they find you?
You can find us at bydesign.sa.com for our local home staging business and at stagingstudio.com if you're interested in becoming a home stager yourself.
Love it. Great job. How many podcasts have you done?
A few, but yeah, not many.
And the Sesame Street word of the day, grit.
Okay. I love it.
What does that even mean, Howie? I don't know.
Well, you never watched Sesame Street? They had one word for the day, and it seemed like
it's great.
It's grit. Grit is the word. That's what we came to, right? It's grit. It's the perseverance. It's the stick-to-itiveness. It's don't quit.
Love it. Word of the... It can't be don't quit. That's 2 words, actually.
No, it's grit.
All right.
Grit.
Gotcha.
Grit.
All right, as we wrap up the show, a quick reminder, check out the latest podcast and catch video version of the show anytime by visiting our website at satalkradio.com. That's going to be it for this one. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.